It's a goal! Can you believe it? It's extraordinary.
Oh, why not?
Top of the agenda, the curious case of the man up the goalposts. On Friday night, it wasn't worthy of a free kick. Today, it warranted a please explain.
We've just found some interesting footage.
Yeah,
You saw it during the call and you said, let's go and have a look at it. Spoke to Hayden Kennedy. He said the umpires were aware of what was going on, told Dane to get down. And were comfortable it didn't affect the result of the game.
You're not allowed to shake the goalpost and you're not allowed to put someone on your back either.
It's a complete brain fade from Dane Rampe. Yeah.
That umpire was not surprised. He knew it was incorrect, yet he told Rampe to get down rather than award a free kick.
You're an experienced player. You know that you can't do that. You saw Brad Hill throw grass the other day. You know the rules. You should know the rules as a professional player.
If it had have got really close, then we might have seen a different result.
The rule states that before the kick or during the kick, so that should have been a free kick.
I'll wait and see what the umpiring department, the footy department says. But for me, it seemed pretty practical umpiring. And I haven't looked, apparently there's lots of different camera angles, but he gave him the warning and the guy got down and it didn't impact on the play.
Look, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest, at the time, but my intention was certainly not to shake the post. There was a bit going on down there at the time, and I think I just got caught up in the emotion of it. Safe to say, I won't be doing that again. I'm a little bit embarrassed by it.
Oh, I spoke to him on Saturday morning. He said, I just genuinely didn't know the rule. And I said, well, you do now. So probably best to stay away from goalposts in the future.
So, the precursor to this, Robbo, is do you sit here absolutely certain that had the umpire blown the whistle and paid a 50-metre penalty and the game result changes as a result of it, that you wouldn't think that it was pedantic interventionism and that the umpire should have used common sense and let an action that didn't affect the game stand?
No, I don't, Jared.
Certain?
I'm absolutely positive.
OK, away we go.
Let's just deal with some facts. The fact is, when David Myers was running towards goal and after David Myers kicked the ball was in the air, Dane Rampe, an opposition player, was straddling a goalpost which was shaking. That is a fact. See the ball in the air? Now, he stopped there. I've got no doubt when Gillon McLachlan hit the radio stations on Saturday, including yours, if the a free kick had been paid, I reckon Gill would have said, well, it's in the rules. You're not allowed to shake the goalpost. I've got no doubt he would have said that. It would have been a strong call. But there's been strong calls before in football. So, no, I wouldn't have said, oh, no, what's going on here? No, come on. Rubber the green. He's only up there for a while. There's some rules that can have discretion, Jared, and there's other rules that can't. Now, this is part of the problem in our game at the moment. Like, for example, there's no discretion in that silly byplay on Saturday with Tom Phillips getting the second 50-metre penalty. Where do players go like that? Yep. And he's going like that. No discretion there. That's 50. And I'm going to be really honest here. Everyone laughs about this. I honestly believe the AFL failed the game on Friday night. And I wrote that today. And actually, the more this day has played out, the more stronger I feel. Now, I get the impression that you don't agree with that.
No, I think the furor would be tenfold. I initially thought twofold, but I've changed my view. I think the furor would have been tenfold had it been paid.
Why?
Because that's where the real outrage, I think, would have set in. So I think that's the source of sort of the practical nature of umpiring. But all I'm interested in now, and I think this is sort of the culmination of a moment which doesn't serve the game particularly well. We have an environment now where every decision can be justified, which doesn't help. It doesn't help
anyone.
The football, it doesn't help the umpires, it certainly doesn't help them improve, and it doesn't help the public understand. So I'm now very firmly of the view that this is right and this is wrong. And what we need to know from that is if it happens again, is the umpire expected to blow the whistle and pay a free kick, as per the prescription in the rule? Or is he expected to go down, and if he gets down, it's all fine, in which case we take the rule out of the book. So which is it? You can't have it both ways anymore.
Cannot.
We're at a point where having it both ways is just not working, and we'll never raise the standard of umpiring if that's a goal. If you don't actually say, well, this is right, learn from it, and this is wrong, learn from it. Can we just show, I just want that vision once more, just to it's illuminating on a couple of fronts. So there have been various arguments all day as the post didn't shake and whatnot. And it wasn't deliberate. Just watch the wide shot here and then watch how quickly Conor McKenna and Jake Stringer are onto it. So see that post shaking?
Yeah, of course I see
that
shaking.
removes that part of the argument. And just how quickly McKenna and Stringer knew that this was not permissible in the game and right on the money with it.
I don't think Gill and McLaughlin helped the situation on Saturday morning with his round of radio interviews. Like, he was arguing the ball hadn't even left Myers' hand. How can you come on and have a discussion about this and you haven't got the facts right in front of you? The MRO, Michael Christian, it was ticked off by 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon, Jared.
So I think that today the clarity around that was taken out of his hands.
On Saturday afternoon?
Yeah,
yes.
and moved into the please explain today. So that's the curiosity for me, is how can it be a please explain today if it wasn't a free kick on Friday?
Well, God, that's a curiosity for everyone. Now, there's no point absolutely jumping up and down and saying, this is wrong, and if they paid the free kick, tenfold outrage, that's wrong. We have rules in our rule book. The umpire knew. Can I tell you a little keep watching our show. We have some of the best footage that has not been seen on this stuff. Just hang with us. We've never done this before. You know how other shows are. You hang on after the break. We don't. We usually go straight for the jugular, but we have got some amazing footage. It was a free kick, Jared. It was a free kick, and the umpire decided in his discretion that he won't pay the free kick. And then the AFL supported it, and then the AFL department come out today, please explain. I put a tweet out effectively. He's going to be charged with, can't even remember what it is, misconduct. He's going to be charged with misconduct tomorrow. He put out his explanation tonight, which wasn't an explanation. He didn't have one. He just did it. He just got up. So something happened at 10 o'clock on Friday, and we're going to get a conclusion to this, and he's going to be penalised in some way. And they may warn him, because the AFL's right into warning now. Don't do it again, because it was a warning in the first place. There's going to be a conclusion on Tuesday. The other club involved in this, Essendon...
Yeah, so what's Essendon's place in your mind?
I think Essendon can be a weak club. I think Essendon can be a soft club. In times gone by, leaders of this football club would stand up and talk to their supporters about how they feel. Essendon, this is probably a little bit understanding, they don't want to be seen as whingers. They don't want to be seen as bad losers. OK, but they've been in discussions with the AFL over the weekend and again today. Not about changing the result. The most beautiful word in football when a club wants to complain to the AFL, Jared, is we're just seeking clarity, right? So they're seeking clarity on what constitute rules and what can be let go and what is hard and fast rules. And I think it's a very good call privately, because that's what we're all thinking. What is hard and fast and what is up for negotiation? And it's doing everyone's head in. And finally, we got to a tipping point on Friday night where it did a game in. It's not doing our heads in anymore, it did a game in. The AFL failed the game on Friday night, and they should have played the free kick. And the AFL on Saturday, when Gill got up, the AFL should have come out and said, you know what, everyone? We think we made an error. You're allowed to make errors.
OK. So play that out for me. So the umpire makes his call and the AFL the next day says that's the wrong decision.
Yep.
The umpire should have paid the free kick, which we all know results in the 50-metre penalty and a certain goal and changes the result. So play that out for me, because are we mature enough to deal with that?
Well, we've got to be mature enough, Jared, because...
it's one thing to say, are we? That's why I think the furor... I think the furor is tenfold if we go the other way, which is not to say it's not the right thing to do.
But we've got to do the right thing.
Is the rule.
I don't forget the furor. We've got to do what's right.
Yeah, so if Gill came out on Saturday and said, no, that call was wrong, it should have been a 50-metre penalty, what happens?
Well, nothing happens. People will say, "Arr!" Right? But there's no guarantee they're going to kick the goal anyway.
Yes,
so
there is.
No,
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I've seen
4
people.
metres out.
No, but I've seen people miss
No,
that.
don't say that.
I have
that
seen it.
mitigates your argument.
No, it doesn't.
The
No, you
result
think it mitigates.
changes on the 50-metre penalty.
Mate, in all probability...
No, you have to accept the result.
Well, say it does. Just
So
for
let's
your
play that out.
argument,
Yeah.
it does, OK? Well, an error was made. It's not the first error. It is not the first error in the history of the game. And actually, someone might say, you know what, AFL? You would deny if the sun come up tomorrow if it would help you, OK? It would be tough to accept. It would no doubt be tough to accept. But to tell everyone, no, it's OK, it's OK, I actually think it's not worse. There'd be equal sort of rage, Jared.
The justification is a flawed strategy, and I think we've seen that over the past 3 days, and we need to move away from that to what is right and what is wrong. Dane Rampe's got one other issue.
We didn't have a fight then, we were pretty good.
Not too bad. Dane Rampe has one other issue to deal with, which is not the laughing matter. It was his nature towards the umpire, which I'm certain he will... Oh, I'm probably not certain. There will be some form of retribution.
He will be fined, Jared.
For this.
He'll be fined.
At the time, I was frustrated that I didn't hear the call, and by no way of imagination did I mean for my comments to be derogatory to girls. Being called a girl is something that should be celebrated, and I genuinely mean that.
So a bit of restorative work to be done there.